Welcome PNG to tonight's edition of Hotspot, where we're previewing all the matches internationally and locally. Proudly brought to you by our sponsor, Hugo Canning, through its Ocean Blue Tuna brand. And with me tonight, I have the ever-present Sophia Russo. Welcome, Sophie, in place of Cecil Devani.
Yeah, thanks, Billy. I'm doing Cecil a favor this evening, but it's great to be in your company this evening. Great sporting action coming up this weekend.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering, we've seconded Cecil as advanced party down to the State of Origin, but we'll be talking to him about that later.
Okay. You'll need it anyways. You'll need a big blue army in Brisbane for the third one, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But talking sports in PNG, how's your week been as far as
pretty good.
sports concerned?
Really good. I was at the Union Field, some great women's rugby union action there. Yeah, also we have the Peppers in Fiji doing quite a good job at the Pacific Series. We also had women's cricket. Yeah, women's cricket on as well at the Amini Park. How did yours go?
It was a good weekend, very nice and hot out there, got a sunburn, got a tan. But before we head to those other stories, we'll kick off with some Digicel Cup results here. Moruks 28 defeated Lahanis 24. TNA Lions 12 defeated Eagles 8. Tigers 20 defeated Isapea 16. Gurias 20 defeated Mioks 10, and the Vipers were on bye. And you see the ladder there, you got the Gurias, the Vipers and the Mioks all on 16, followed by the Eagles, Moruks on 14, and then Lahanis on 12. Lions on 10, Isapea and Tigers at the bottom of the ladder on 6.
Yeah, moving on to the Amini Park cricket. Great cricket action over the weekend. In the men's 2020 grand final, we had in a 15-over match, we had the BSP Hearts take on NU Guinea Jets, and BSP Hearts defeated 8 down for 135, defeated NU Guinea Jets 9 all out, 9 down for 88. They fell short of that score there, the target over the weekend. On to the Capital Rugby Union, Billy's home ground. We had on Oval 1, under-19, some great action in the under-19 division. I watched that match, the Lasallians versus Spartans. Lasallians sadly not scoring a try, going down 0 to Spartans 27. So good on you, Coach John Larry, you're doing a good job. On to the women's, Harlequins versus Spartans. 12 Harlequins, Spartans 34. Billy, any comments on that?
Yeah, no, Spartans are a good team. They've got a lot of the rep players in there,
yeah.
And they're doing quite well at the moment. Second place, they were champions from last year's competition,
okay.
So they've carried on that form and they're in second place. So yeah, very hard to beat that team.
Good stuff. Moving on, Nova 40, Wanderers 6. That's still in the women's division. A-grade Lasallians 29 versus Spartans 3, and in the Premier Division, the Lasallians 20. Beat the Spartans 20. Oval 2, 22-20, that is. I beg your pardon. Billy, Oval 2?
Yeah, Oval 2, Harlequins in under 19 drew with Brothers. Royals and the Brothers match was a forfeit to Brothers, and then A grade, 36-12 to Harlequins. In the Premier grade, Harlequins 51 beat Brothers 12, which was a good weekend. This weekend we start round 9 of the second part of the season, and it should be quite exciting, yeah.
It was. I was there and I was quite excited, yeah. So it's pretty good. And moving on to our very, very favorite NRL round 16 results. Starting with the Cowboys, 40 defeated Raiders 18. Eels 19 defeated Panthers 18. Bulldogs 20 defeated the Storm 4. Sea Eagles 52 defeated Roosters 4.
My favorite game, the Eels 19, Panthers 18, so that was a great game. As you see the ladder there, Storms leading by 4 points to the Bulldogs on 26, and followed by the Broncos, Sharks all on 22. Cowboys and the Sea Eagles with the Rabbits on 20. West Tigers 18, Warriors and Dragons make up the top 10 on 16. And what do we got? Titans, Raiders, Roosters all on 14, Knights on 12. And Panthers and the Eels on 10 at the bottom there.
So the Eels really needed that 1-point win over the weekend, because they currently
morale booster.
Morale booster. All season morale booster. Great stuff.
At least it gets them into the double figures of the
it does
points
too.
ladder, so they build up for next year.
Anything to make you feel good, Billy. It's good stuff.
Always. And Jared Holland's in form for next week.
Oh, he is
so be
too.
out watching for him on Wednesday night. Anyway,
we will.
Straight after the break, we're going to be talking GSL Cup with the PNG NRL General Manager, Hubert Warupi. See you after the break. Welcome back to Hotspot, and we're talking Digicel Cup, and with us in the studio we have the General Manager for the PNG NRL, Hubert Warupi. How are you, Hubert?
Good, thanks, Billy. Good to be here.
Excellent. It's Digicel Cup we're talking about. It's round 11. How's the competition been so far, and how are you finding it as far as your job's concerned?
I tell you, the last 11 rounds have been a real challenge, but we've worked on a 7-day turnaround. It's good to have all the games being played on time across all the 7 different venues. We've got 6 more games until the final series starts. So all in all, it's been going well, and we look forward to a good final season.
And as far as the Digicel Cup's concerned, any surprises for you as far as the competition compared to last year?
I think the only surprise is that Lahani is not doing as well as everyone's expected, and the biggest surprise is Vipers coming through.
Yeah, and that's we were just talking about that earlier. Port Moresby Vipers being the leader for Port Moresby Rugby League, and it's a good turnaround for them. What do you think their secret's been, or what do you think they've done differently to last year and the previous years?
I think they're coming off a very solid platform in terms of a disciplined and well-managed franchise looking after the Port Moresby Vipers. They've got a very reputable coach, Shane Morris, so he's come in with a lot of experience being with the Broncos himself. He's been able to instill a lot of discipline into the team, and with the franchise itself have also offered their managerial experience to help the team as well. Yeah, so I think those 3 factors combined have been able to show cause that the Vipers are probably the team to watch this season.
Yeah, speaking of a reputable franchise, I think they did a great job last weekend. They had a meet and greet session, the Stop and Shop Vipers and the Sapers, and it was great meeting the players, getting to personalize the game a bit, and I think that's what the Digicel Cup really needs. Yeah, get down to the people who support the teams itself and get going. So great season this year.
Yeah,
good on you.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Heading into the finals, obviously 6 rounds left, or 7 rounds I should say, and it's election time. Obviously the Highlands region is going to be really packed with a lot of anticipation. How's the competition in that regard? Has it affected the competition in any way, or has it boosted your revenue in any way?
To be honest, we have not been able to see any much difference in terms of the crowd that goes to watch the games. The Highlands region has always been rugby league mad. So the games that are being held in the Highlands have always attracted a lot of crowd. And it makes no difference whether you have games played in Moresby or in Lae or even in Kokopo. The teams that come from the outside areas are the ones that bring in a lot of the crowd. But going back to your question on the elections, we haven't really seen any difference with any of the games in the last week. We don't expect to have any difference this week and next weekend as well, so it looks good.
Talking about the games, you've decided to have a double header down in Lae. Give us a bit of an insight on that as far as the administration is concerned.
Okay, what has happened is we had an unfortunate incident in Goroka last Sunday, where there was a crowd incursion onto the field, and one of the match referee was assaulted. And the PNG NRL has a 0 tolerance on such behavior that brings the game into disrepute. So we felt that it's a shame that the crowd in Goroka were not able to behave themselves and assaulted one of our match officials, and have brought the game over to Lae. And that's essentially the PNG NRL's decision to, I guess, punish is too much of a hard word, but relocate a match away so that it's fair on everyone, especially the players that will be going. They want to play in a good environment, in an environment where they can feel safe to play. The match officials, they travel. They want to match a game without any fear or favor. So at the end of the day, it's all about the safety of the players and the referees.
Yeah, the Digicel Cup has grown into a more family-oriented kind of thing. Like, as more franchise come from other outer centers, more women, family, children, they want to be there, and we want to ensure that there's a safe environment for fans and everyone to be there at the same time. And with Goroka, NSI in particular, is that it?
Yes.
That's Goroka Lahani's home ground. Yeah, I was there earlier this year. It's just unlike, I'm not too sure about all the other centers, but then you just got a grandstand, and then basically what separates the playing field from the grandstand is just a line.
Yes.
So yeah, sometimes how we take our rugby league to heart. Yeah, you can't blame the supporters sometimes. Anything
can happen, and that's exactly what happened on Sunday. So it's the well-being and the safety of the players and the match officials. So one of the sanctions is for the team to put up a fence so that it has a divide between the spectators and the players, and that's important.
It also says they have to put up a perimeter by the 15th of July.
They do. They have to put that fence up by the 15th of July. If it's not up by the 15th of July, then all the remaining games to be held at Goroka are going to be relocated to the away team that the Lahanis play. So that's their sanction.
It's disappointing to hear this type of stories, but hopefully you guys can put your finger on it and get that all sorted out. It's not always going to obviously be greener pastures.
Speaking of franchise, Mr. Sia wouldn't be too pleased with what's happening. So I think the rugby league fans in Goroka owe it that much to him, franchise owner for the Goroka Lahanis, to actually behave themselves when the game is brought to them there. Yeah, big favor.
He's delivered the Lahanis to 2 back-to-back premierships in the last 2 years. You know, he's definitely put in a lot, and you know, he's not feeling all that well, but I think he's also a very strong supporter of what the PNG NRL is and what the board's decision is. So he's a good supporter of that as well.
Good on him.
Getting away from the admin issues, and as far as the game's concerned, tell us your honest opinion on the level we're at, and we obviously got a World Cup qualifier coming up shortly. What are your views on that in the next couple of weeks coming up? How do you see that happening?
I think the intensity of the competition this season has been good. It's based from last season's performance. A lot of the players are getting to understand the game a little bit more. You don't see as much tension on the field as you would have in the last 2-3 years, because players now understand the rules. Coaches are now beginning to understand that in order to win games, the players need to understand what the rules are. And I think it's a relatively good stepping stone, you know, heading into the World Cup next year. But you know, where we stand in amongst where all the other countries stand, that's hard to tell. Yeah. Only when we get you know, good resources to come in, and the proper training heading into the international calendar is important. We have the players there, the natural talent there. We just have to mold them.
Well, all the best, Hubert, and well done and a great job so far. And for those fans out there, Digicel Cups happening this weekend. Get out there and support your teams. Straight after this, we're talking State of Origin.
Sa wati marun chukas salus lo second test asol. Na test now gen test sampai kisim. Favorite player lu me Slater. Entasol.
Me support from Blues long time yet maskeo salus mina salus me support from Blues. Na me like this time na mas krasimo na kurkutimo na ba na broken bone blow na Blues must win. Thank you true.
Supporting Blues 20 years. Maski only win or only lose, maybe I'm still supporting all yet.
And there you have it. That was some exciting and passionate fans from Buka. Our cameraman is over there for some election work, and he just caught up with some exciting fans who will be looking out for Game 3, all the action in the State of Origin. Billy?
Oh, Blue supporters, I saw.
You mistaken there? That was it. Then that's all the state. Speaking of State of Origin, the Blues have named the lineup already.
Yes, and going through the New South Wales lineup there, we have Brett Stewart, Jared Hayne, Michael Jennings, Josh Morris, who comes in for the drop Aquila Iwate, Brett Morris, Todd Carney, Mitchell Pearce, Tim Grant, Robbie Farah, James Tamal, Glenn Stewart, who's on an injury cloud, Greg Bird, Paul Gallen, Trent Merrin, Luke Lewis, Ben Craig, Anthony Watmore, Tony Williams, and Bo Scott. They've both been brought in to cover for the injured Glenn Stewart. So a 19-man squad there, yeah. A strong 19-man squad.
Strong 19-man squad, if you say so, Billy. One thing I noticed there is the Morris brothers. Yeah, Brett Morris will join his twin brother.
First time they'll be paired up in the New South Wales game.
Exactly,
so
that should be a good one. Yeah, interesting.
Double trouble.
And controversial decision by Ricky Stewart to drop Aquila Iwate.
I think it's based on form, and you know, Aquila Iwate is on the verge of some bad. Coming off some bad form, and Josh Morris coming in excellent form. So hopefully that does
I mean, nothing surprising. The Blues are always indecisive. So we're moving on.
Covering every base.
Every base, okay. Yeah. Who else? Glenn Stewart. What's the story with him?
Yeah, Glenn Stewart's on an injury cloud. He's going to be given until the last minute to prove his fitness. And they brought in Tony Williams, who's no slouch. Should make a huge difference up at Suncorp. And Bo Scott to cover that area. So 19-man squad they picked, 2 to be omitted.
Yep.
And they're giving those guys, the injured guys, last minute.
Yeah, okay, looking forward to that. And Billy Slater is currently, like you said, in doubt at the moment. His form, they'll be looking to replace him. I think they're moving Inglis to fullback if that happens. And then they're going to have to bring in, I hear they've mentioned Matt Bowen also, in that they're not giving Baba a chance as yet based on experience. Anyways, the 2012 State of Origin Game 3 Queensland team is as follows. Billy Slater, Darius Boyd, Greg Inglis, Justin Hodges, Brent Tate, Jonathan Thurston, Cooper Cronk, Matthew Scott, Cameron Smith, Petro Sivanasiva. That'll be his last game, so we'll be looking forward to that one. And Nate Miles, Sam Thaiday, injury. Corey Parker, Matt Gillette, David Taylor, Ben Hannett, David Shillington, Matthew Bowen, Ben Teo, and Dane Nielsen.
Talk about the New South Wales team not being confident in picking 17. They've got 20 there, so.
Oh, well, just keeping our options open, Billy.
Sign of the times there.
It's always good to keep your options open.
Getting a bit worried at home.
Oh, well,
Trying to
it's
pull out
home.
all stuff.
It's home. We're just trying to give everyone a run,
Everyone will run.
We do have what it takes to give everyone a run. Your choices are limited, so I understand. You got to stick to
Yeah, and word in the camp is, they've got a media band, the New South Wales Blues. They're really heading for obviously a big game, and they want to keep it low. Want to try and make sure that they're all in
nothing new.
Good spirits when the game starts. It's going to be at the Lang Park Cauldron.
Yeah,
that's going to be huge. But we also send out. That's why we also second one of our spies out there. So Cecil will be out there on game day to try and get a bit of insights on that game.
I'm wishing Cecil all the very best, because the Queenslanders are not very friendly when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, Cecil, enjoy your stay in Brisbane, and we're hoping to see you back in your full form.
Talking about the game, any insights on where you think Queensland will be strong at?
I think they'll be really putting it out onto the field, because it'll be also Petro Sivanasiva's last game. He had his 300 match. He took a chance at conversion, which didn't go well in his the last match against
home game.
Yeah, home game. So yeah, it's going to be pretty good. We'll watch. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, now I believe that New South Wales is going to come home with a wet sail and spoil the party. So sorry about that, Petro, but all the best in your 300th match. I believe New South Wales are going to come on with a wet sail and spoil the party for Petro. So next Wednesday will be the biggest day of New South Wales' career. But straight after the break, we cover all the weekend draws and the MCV Sports Guide. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Hotspot. Thanks for your company. In this segment, we bring you all the local and international draws. And coming up this weekend, all the action in the Digicel Cup competition. We'll have the Lions taking on the Vipers. They'll be bouncing off a win to take on the Fresh Vipers, who were on a bye last week. Lahanis versus the Eagles. They'll be looking for a win in that match. And a doubleheader in Lae, the Tigers versus the Miocs. Issa Pairs will take on Muruks in Port Moresby, and the Gurias are on a much-needed bye after a win last week.
And in the MTV Sports Guide, straight after this Hotspot show, don't go away, we have the NRL Footy Show at 9:30 on Friday. We have 4:45 a.m. in the morning. Euro 2012 continues with Germany taking on Italy. At 7:30 p.m. round 17 NRL kicks off. Broncos take on the Sharks. At 9:30 Super 15 Rugby, Highlanders take on the Chiefs. Then on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. NRL round 17 continues with the Eels taking on the Knights. And at 9:30, Super 15 rugby action, Crusaders take on the Hurricanes.
And on Sunday, all the Super 15 action kicks off when Western Force take on the Brumbies, 12 p.m. NRL Round 17, Warriors versus Cowboys, that's at 2 p.m. And Round 17 as well, Rabbitohs versus the Panthers at 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Monday, July the 2nd, 7 p.m. NRL Round 17 as well. Raiders will be taking on the Dragons. And 9:30 p.m. we have Sports Scene. That's all the review of all the sporting actions. And stay tuned for that. It'll be 9:30 on Monday evening. And stay tuned because there'll be more action during the weekend at odd times. But if you love your sport, you got to stay up.
Well, round 17 kicks off this weekend for the NRL, so stay tuned. Friday kicks off, Broncos taking on the Sharks, and hopefully it'll be a big match for the Broncos as far as State of Origin is concerned. All the big names are missing.
Looking
That's
forward
all
to
for
it.
this weekend. Thank you very much, Sophie, for coming
Thanks,
on the
Billy.
show.
It was great being on the show with you.
Yep.
Have
And
a
thank
great
you-
sporting weekend.
And thank you to our sponsors, Hugo Canning, through its Ocean Blue Tuna brand. Hope to see you out there on the weekend, Sophie. Your hotspot for this
Top
weekend?
sporting weekend. I'll be out at the Port Moresby Industrial Touch competition on Sunday at the stadium.
If you're not doing anything, come around to Bava and get some more shots of the juniors and the ladies. Otherwise, have a top weekend, sporting weekend for all of you out there. See you next week.
Good night.
Welcome to Hotspot for this week, where we're previewing all the sports of. Oh shit! What was I going to say? I forgot. Did I say that right? Or?
Yeah, you did. That was so psyched up and so you.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Clip it properly. Okay.
Clip yourself properly.
Wagi, come help, please. Baba a chance as yet, based on experience for the
Coach, you wanna go
Maroons.
through your team? 'Cause you
So,
seem to be knowing everything
yeah,
about players.
anyways, New South Wales, no, we don't have Stop, we don't have Maroons here.
It's there at the bottom.
Where?
You don't have it, I have it.
Mari Sakumai.